Now, after the winter cold recently wreaked havoc in the US, another disaster has now struck, this time in the form of a killer tornado. Take a look.
Acres and acres of pure destruction. That is what this massive tornado brought with it. Take a look at the extent of damage. Vehicles, buildings, trees, nothing stood a chance against the wrath of this super tornado. It touched down about 16 kilometers west of Little Rock in the US and has claimed 17 lives till now. Moving at a speed of 129 kilometers per hour, it passed through central and southern United States and claimed 16 lives in Arkansas alone. The tornado grew to be 800 meters wide and remained close to the ground through most of its path. A region called Quapaw, which has about 900 residents, was also heavily damaged by the tornado. The violent storm destroyed entire neighborhoods within minutes, slicing an 8-mile path across the region. After hitting Quapaw, the tornado continued north into Kansas, striking Baxter Springs. It took down buildings of all sizes. Search crews and rescue personnel worked tirelessly to clear the debris and save as many lives as they could. Tornadoes also touched down in Arkansas, Nebraska, Iowa and Missouri, leaving residents in fear. Some of the worst damage occurred in Mayflower and Ark, where several homes were reduced to mere rubble by the strong winds. I'm just kind of numb. It's just shock that you lost everything. You don't understand everything you have until you realize that all I've got now is just what I have on. Several families were saved as they managed to get into their storm cellars. The White House issued a statement in which US President Barack Obama promised that the federal government would help in the recovery. The American president also praised the heroic efforts of the first responders and neighbors. Your country will be there to help you recover and rebuild as long as it takes. The tornado rated EF3 is one of the biggest the US has faced in the last decade. Until the entire search and rescue operations are complete, we will not know the total amount of loss, be it human or material. A News9 report.
Well, the Election Commission will hold repolling in 12 polling stations across Karnataka today. This is because the EVMs, or the electronic voting machines, had malfunctioned on the day of polling. This is April 17. The polling booths facing repoll represent the 9 parliamentary constituencies of Haveri, Bagalkot, Bijapur, Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, Shimoga, Hassan and Tumkur. Now, in Bidar, Bagalkot and Raichur constituencies, the EC has recommended repolling in 2 polling stations each. The Model Code of Conduct will be enforced from the 27th of April in the districts where these polling stations are located. Now, as many as 10,000 to 15,000 voters will get to cast their votes once again. The snags were reported in 11 of the 12 polling stations, wherein there were doubts if the votes cast were registered in the EVMs. Now, the Chief Electoral Officer said the right index finger of voters will be marked with the indelible ink during repoll. The EC has decided to enforce the Model Code of Conduct in the districts where the polling stations facing repoll are registered, as the stations may represent a particular Lok Sabha seat, but the assembly segment where they are located may be in a different district. Now, for instance, Bindur Assembly constituency is part of Shimoga Lok Sabha seat, but the Model Code will be enforced in Udupi district as Bindur falls under that district. Accordingly, the Model Code will be enforced in the 9 districts of Haveri, Bagalkot, Bijapur, Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, Hassan, Tumkur and Udupi till the evening of April 29. Now, the poll timings will remain unchanged between 7 and 6. In fact, the Election Commission will hold repolling in 12 polling stations across Karnataka today. This is because the EVMs had malfunctioned on the day of polling, April 17. The polling booths facing repoll represent the 9 parliamentary constituencies of Haveri, Bagalkot, Bijapur, Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, Shimoga, Hassan and Tumkur. Now, in Bidar, Bagalkot and Raichur constituencies, The Election Commission has recommended repolling in 2 polling stations each. The Model Code of Conduct will be enforced or has been enforced from the 27th of April in the districts where these polling stations are located. As many as 10,000 to 15,000 voters will get to cast their vote once again. Now, the snags were reported in 11 of the 12 polling stations, wherein there were doubts if the votes cast were registered in the EVMs. Now, the CEO, the Chief Electoral Officer, said the right index finger of the voters will be marked with indelible ink during repoll. Now, the Election Commission has decided to enforce the model code in the districts where the polling stations facing repoll are registered, as the stations may represent a particular Lok Sabha seat, but the assembly segment where they are located may be in a different district. Accordingly, the model code will be in force in the 9 districts of Haveri, Bagalkot, Bijapur, Gulbarga, Raichur, Bidar, Hassan, Tumkur and Udupi till the evening of April 29. Now, the poll timings will remain unchanged between 7 in the morning and 6 in the evening. Now, Mysore Zoo has added variety to its list of animals. A bunch of zebras have landed at the zoo.
The Jaichamarajendra Wadeyar Zoo has received new guests, and they are zebras from Israel. 4 zebras aged between 12 and 14 months have been brought from Ramat Gan Zoo in Tel Aviv. They are on view for visitors. The zebras have been brought under the animal exchange program. They are said to be found in hilly and grassy areas. Children seem to be excited at the sight of them. The Mysore Zoo authorities have brought in a rare species of zebras, and they already seem to be a big hit with visitors. Hemant Kumar, News 9, Mysore.
Now, she can be easily tagged as the loudmouth of Bollywood. Sonam Kapoor has always irked someone or the other with her controversial statements, and the Kapoor girl has now irked the Queen of Bollywood.
Sonam Kapoor is one actor who has irked almost everyone with her comments. If RGV is the most controversial man, then Sonam can be easily tagged as the most controversial woman. Sonam didn't spare anyone in her list. Ranbir, Katrina, Aishwarya, Kareena, Shahid, Shobha Dey, the Kapoor girl spared none and created quite some noise with her statements. And in her outing on the latest season of Coffee with Karan, she has garnered a lot of flack. Sonam Kapoor's comments on Karan's chat show didn't go down well with many actors in the industry. While many decided to stay mum on the matter, Kangana Ranaut couldn't resist from commenting. Sonam Kapoor's statement has got her a backlash from the most unexpected quarter. Kangana Ranaut, who hasn't seen the episode yet, recently heard about the comment from B-Town's fashionista. If you're not good looking, they think you're a good actor. Just because you look ordinary and you talk loud doesn't mean you're a good actor. While many in B-Town who consider themselves good actors were miffed with this statement, it is only Kangana who has reacted strongly to it. The Queen said, Sonam has said that people who act well are ugly, I have heard. So, do I get the crown of the ugliest person? Because after watching Queen, people have been telling me that I act really well. So according to Sonam, I am the ugliest actor in Bollywood today. And well, I accept that with all the gratitude and humbleness. Kangana, who has been receiving praises from all corners for her acting prowess for Queen and recently released Revolver Rani, is going all guns blazing at Sonam. Kangana goes on to say that it's high time that Hindi films have real people on the screen. I feel that Sonam really needs to get her facts right about acting. Actors aren't models. It's a different technique to convey expressions and emotions, and it has got nothing to do with the looks. And we should have a variety of actors just for the sake of casting. We don't have right casting in our country. It's high time we get rid of this six-pack brigade and glamorous looking people. We should get real people in because the stories we show on screen are about real people. And that's how the movies will be genuine and heartfelt. Storytelling needs to get honest. That's not all. She also held Sonam responsible for our cinema not being so genuine today. If at all our cinema is not genuine today, people like Sonam should be held responsible. There are people out there who might not fit into that Vogue kind of space, but they have all the right to be an actor. Clearly, Kangna is completely in her revolver Rani avatar and she is firing away. Well, now let's wait and watch where this new cat fight leads to.